Hey folks, Sayre here from Urban Roots Brewing Company with some helpful tips you can use when you're shopping for our beer out in the world. At Urban Roots, we are committed to seeing to it that our beer arrives in your glass in pristine, brewery fresh condition. So how do we do that? First, all Urban Roots beer will have the packaging date printed on the bottom of the can. Be sure to check that date before you buy. Second, we insist on 100% cold storage of all of our products, both within our walls with our distributor partners and at all of our accounts. These two things come above all else when you're shopping for beer. Always check the date and never, ever, ever buy a beer that's being stored outside of a cooler. A recent study demonstrated that a beer kept at ambient temperature showed the same amount of flavor degradation in just 8 weeks as a beer stored in a cooler showed in over 2 years. That means the beer kept outside the cooler got stale about 20 times as fast as the one kept inside the cooler. So again, when you're shopping for beer, always check that date, never buy beer that's being stored outside of a cooler, and be sure to keep your own beers at home in the fridge. Time and temperature affect different beer styles differently. Today's most popular styles, like hazy IPAs, West Coast IPAs, double IPAs, these beers rely on highly volatile and precise hop aromas as a dominant aspect of their appeal. Shop for these beers like you do milk or eggs or any other perishable product at the grocery store. Take home just the right amount to last until the next time you visit the store, and make sure you keep it cold. Next, let's talk about the rest of our canned beer lineup. Classic lagers, like our flagship 10 Degrees, maltier beers like this delicious Nothing Is Certain black lager, and fermentation-driven ales like our Tomorrow's Verse Saison. These beers you can treat like, well, beer. If you find one you love, feel free to stock up on as much as you're able to keep cold at home. Depending on the specific recipe, these beers should present in perfect brewery fresh condition for 3 to 4 months from their packaging date, provided they're properly stored in your refrigerator. Our last category of beers is a very special one, our bottled beers. These wild ales, saisons, imperial stouts, other barrel-aged beers, the ones we package in bottles are part of a very small group of beer styles with the ability to develop and become even more delicious as they age. These beers you can treat like red wine. Pick out a bottle of something that catches your eye, take it home, store it in a cool, dry place, and open it on just the right occasion. If you're interested in learning more about these beers, stay tuned, because we're about to announce a very special event at our brewery where you will be able to get to taste through some of the most extraordinary selections from our bottled beer library.